Documents that you need to apply for a Canada tourist visa or Canada visitors visa. That's what you're going to be looking at in today's video. So you want to stay to the very end because I am going to show you exactly what documents you're going to need to apply for your Canadian tourist visa or visitors visa, whether you are going to be invited by a family member or a friend, or if you're going to be sponsoring your trip by yourself, or if you're going to go on a conference. So if you are seeing my face for the first time, welcome to the family. My name is Eva Mtali, and I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell as well, so that every time I shoot a new video, you do not miss out. So when it comes to submitting your application for a visa to Canada, be aware that you are not going to go to the embassy. You will not even speak to any visa officer. So you will make your application online, and I will leave a link in the description box at the bottom of this video of where you submit your application. And then once you have submitted your application to the Immigration of Canada, you will be sent to a link whereby you go and apply to have your fingerprints taken, your biometrics, by a company called VFS. Other than that, you will not see any visa officer. You will submit your application online and then go for the waiting game. So what documents do you need to submit your application to Canada as a visitor, either for a conference or visiting a family member? So number one, you're going to need a passport. So make sure that your passport is valid for at least 6 months from the day you want to enter Canada. And make sure you have at least 2 pages that are empty on your passport. Okay, that is number one. And then number two, you're gonna need to have, if let's say you have travel history, which means you have traveled to Canada or to other countries, you need to have proof that you've been able to get a visa in the past. So this basically, the different ways you can provide proof of travel history is your previous passport and visa that you have used within the last 10 years to travel outside your country, entry and exit stamps on your passport, any study and or work permits that indicate your duration outside of your country, and of course, any expired or valid visas. And then you're going to need an itinerary. So basically, this shows how long you plan to stay and what you will be doing in Canada. So the different ways you can show your itinerary, you can actually just type out that on this date, I'm going to arrive in Canada. I'm going to be in Alberta for 2 days. I'm going to be in Toronto for 5 weeks. I'm going to be in British Columbia for 10 days, whatever. So just draw up that itinerary. You can also book a dummy ticket that just shows your flight details. And if you're interested in having a dummy ticket, you can consult me for a very small fee. I will give you a valid dummy ticket that you can use to submit to your Canadian visa application. Hotel reservations. So this one, I encourage you to use booking.com, because booking.com has options whereby you can book a hotel without paying. There are hotels that allow you to reserve without even a credit card. So again, I'm going to leave a link in the description box at the bottom of this video, just to give you a link where you can book a hotel to support your itinerary. This is especially for people who do not have relatives or friends in Canada to invite them. And then registration for an event. So if let's say you are going to Canada on a conference or on an event, so make sure that you have registered for that event and attach your registration documents, okay? And then the other thing you're going to need is your bank account statement. So this one, I encourage people to have their own bank account statements, even in instances where somebody is supporting your trip to Canada. So make sure that your bank account has your name and your contact, which is your address, a proof that it is your account. So make sure your name and address is there, bank name and the contact to allow the Canadian government immigration department to contact your bank or financial institution if they have any questions. And then in terms of account details, you want to make sure that your bank has at least US bank statement has at least 6 months of account details, including your balances, to help the visa officer handling your case to understand your financial situation. And then one other document I encourage everybody to include with their application, and this is because you're not going to speak to any visa officer, is a cover letter. So the beauty of this cover letter, basically, through that letter, just pour your heart out to the visa officer. Imagine they are interviewing you and they're asking you questions. Answer those questions they could have in their minds about your application. And the premise of this letter is that you want to prove that you have social and economic ties to your home country and you have no business for being an illegal immigrant in Canada. And as soon as your reason for visiting Canada is over, you will return to your home country. You will also, if you're being invited by a friend or a family member, you're going to need a letter of invitation for visitors to Canada. So the information for the person who is writing this letter of invitation, they should include, so first of all, you who they are inviting, they should include your complete name, your date of birth, your address and telephone number, your relationship to them, the purpose of the trip, how long you plan to stay in Canada, where you will be staying, and how you will pay for things, and then when you intend to leave Canada. And then the person who is inviting you, they should include this information in that letter, their complete name, their date of birth, address and telephone number in Canada, their job title, whether they are a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, and then a photocopy of a document that proves their legal status in Canada. For example, a birth certificate if they were born in Canada, citizenship card if they are a naturalized person, a copy of their PR card or IMM 1000, proof of landing if they're a permanent resident, a secure certificate of Indian status or certificate of Indian status card. So they should also provide details of your family, such as names and dates of birth of, let's say, the spouse or the dependents. And then, of course, they're going to need proof that you guys are related. So maybe a birth certificate, if somebody's claiming to you, your father, your mother, your brother, sister, you need to have proof. If, let's say, they're your wife, husband, there need to be proof of a marriage certificate. So whatever relationship you guys have, make sure that you attach proof to that, yeah? Such that whenever the visa officer sees these documents, then they can automatically corroborate and know that these people are indeed related. And then if you are coming in through for a visa for business or for a conference, so what you're going to need is to make sure that the the company that is inviting you should write for you that letter of invitation, such that when you are coming in, there is evidence that indeed I was invited by this person. Also, something else I forgot, when you are getting your documents to apply for your Canada visitor visa, make sure you get a letter from your employer to prove that this person either works with us, and from this date to this date, they're going to be on annual leave, and once they finish their annual leave, they will return back to their job here in whatever country that is. Let the employer indicate your full names, indicate your job title, your salary, and then also include your pay slip. So the advantage you're going to have is that if the employer has said Eva earns £10,000, and then your pay slip also shows that you earn £10,000, and then your bank statement actually shows £10,000 coming in. You see, this is corroborated, triangulated information. So make sure that you do that. If you have any property, you want to include those so that they see you actually have ties to your home country. If you have any kids, talk about them in that cover letter I've talked about and attach copies of their birth certificates. If you have like a business, you attach your business documents, attach your tax compliance certificate, your KRA tax returns. You need those just to show that you are a faithful citizen. You have stuff going on in your home country and you have no business going to disappear once you get to Canada and become a burden to the taxpayers in Canada. So make sure every document that you include there is going to support your case and show that you have social and economic ties in your home country. So I've talked about the employer. Make sure that the letter from the employer is on an official letterhead. It should not be earlier than 3 months before you apply. They need to confirm that you have a job with them, your full name and date of birth, the date you started the job, brief description of your job, current salary, contact information of your manager, phone number, email address, employer information, company name, address, and all that. And then, of course, a signature of your employer, your manager, or HR contact should print their name and sign the letter. So all this you're going to need to submit to the application. So guys, I have done a full video step-by-step process of how to submit your tourist visa application, your business visa application to the Canadian government. So you want to watch that video as well so that you can be armed and ready to apply for your visa. I wish you all the best in your application. Let me know what you thought about this video and what other videos you'd want to see me shoot. So thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.